Yasu, hola, konnichiwa, and hi, I'm Andrew. I'm a graduate from the University of Miami in Florida with a degree in economics, and over the past decade have found myself in different career paths and fields such as design and project management, both in large offices in New York City as well as many years spent abroad. But I find myself here, back home in New Jersey, where I'm actively pursuing a career in elementary education, which I find to be my true purpose and true calling, and the best way that I can help this younger generation. Nowadays, with this, with the age we're living in, we find ourselves in constant distraction and information overload, and we find information kind of being force fed to us through social media or through television or through the news. And I think the single most important thing and where we should all start is by reclaiming our attention. So that brings me to the two things that I bring into my teaching strategy. The first is based off of my lifelong love of reading. Uh, Ever since I could remember, I would love to read anything I can get my hands on, from fiction to philosophy, to ancient classics, to poetry. And nowadays I find myself getting lost in fairy tales that I read my 2-year-old niece. The single most way we can combat this information overload and age of distraction is reclaiming our attention. And I believe the way to do that is just getting lost in a good book. The second thing that informs my teaching and tutoring strategy is my language learning career. I was born into a Greek family, but not taught Greek at an early age, so I had to learn by immersion through my grandparents or the Greek communities that I was a part of. When it comes to Spanish, I was formally taught in high school and college, but really put it into practice at the University of Miami, where that community is largely a Spanish speaking one, and this education showed its fruits. As for Japanese, I self studied for 2, 3 years before actually making it to Japan, where I put my knowledge to the test by conversing with locals and eventually making friends that I'm still friends with today. Um, these two these two approaches, you know, reading, reclaiming our attention, as well as my experiences overseas, taught me that it can feel very overwhelming and very demoralizing if you're not at the level of fluency in a specific subject that you're trying to learn. So with that being said, my teaching approach is one that's very patient, non-judgmental. I'll meet you where you are, see what your goals are, and see how we can best get you there lesson by lesson. If you think that this is something that resonates with you, please feel free to reach out. I offer free 15-minute consultations where we can get to know each other, or you can introduce your child, or whatever the case may be, and we can see where you're at, what your goals are, and where you want to get to. Also, as a caveat, my approach is not simply memorization or, you know, assuming what questions will be on the next upcoming test and studying those, because I feel that the true goal of learning should be understanding the topic and feeling confident when speaking or thinking about the topic. This is far more fruitful, as it'll last you a lifetime, where cramming the night before a test, you might lose that information and knowledge as soon as you're done with the test. So yeah, with that being said, shoot me a message. I answer relatively quickly, and I look forward to scheduling an intro call with you and getting to know you more. Thank you so much.